Good morning, everybody. I want to share something with you guys that was really, really weighing on my heart and on my mind this morning. And this is a message coming from straight out the ocean, right? So I love when God speaks to me throughout the night. Unfortunately, I don't get much sleep in those times, but that's okay because I get messages that will help me in my time of need. But at the biggest, I get to help you. These messages are solely to help those that need them. Sometimes we go through seasons in life that are very difficult. And I want to share this one with you guys because I don't want anyone to miss out on this because it seems like it takes a lot of people and it takes a lot of lives. I want to talk about turbulent waters. I want to talk about rip tides and rip currents. Some of us, we get caught up in them. Now, I'm talking both at the ocean and also in our spiritual walk and in our lives. Sometimes those rip currents look like our finances. Sometimes they look like our marriage. Sometimes they look like our family. Sometimes they look like medical and doctor reports. There's those rip tides that are just dragging you right out to sea, right? And they just want to take you out. But I'm here to tell you something that God really put on me. And this is going to help somebody because I know it's helping me this morning. And I know it's going to help somebody else. That sometimes when we are faced with challenges and waves and rip currents like that, that it is time to start swimming along the shore. You see, sometimes some of us, we think we're strong swimmers. I am guilty of this, that I think I am a very strong person, that I can spearhead a lot by myself. But sometimes we hit that riptide that says, you can't go this way. You see, sometimes that's God closing a door, or sometimes that's God making waves in your life. You see, sometimes we want to give Satan the credit and say, oh, Satan's dragging me down, when really it's God saying, I'm making a new way. You see, the disciples were faced with the challenge when they were out fishing at night. And I have to share this to you guys because I know in my heart, deep down, that this was a seasonal battle that they were faced with. You see, those disciples were out fishing and they didn't catch anything. And there was a gentleman, his name was Jesus, who was standing on the shoreline, who yelled out from the shoreline, because I don't know if any of you are familiar with being at the beach, but sometimes you got to yell to the boats out there because it's a little loud with the waves crashing around you. And if there's a rip current, man, that turbulent water is loud. So Jesus yells out to his disciples saying, hey, fellows, did you catch any fish? They go, no, nothing. He goes, cast your nets on the other side. So they cast their nets on the other side, and guess what? They catch more than they can handle. And here's what the best part is. You see, fish don't always hang out in the rip currents, and you aren't always going to see your rip currents, and you're not going to see your rip tides when you're on top of them. You see, the rip current is underneath and on the surface, and the best place to see that is from a vantage point behind you. That's where Jesus comes in, folks. That is where Jesus steps into the scene for us in our lives. I'm telling you this because Jesus has been on the sideline yelling at us to say, go left, go left, go right. There's a wave coming. Get out of the way. He's been doing this in our lives for years. And some of us have just been ignoring it because we're hearing the crashing of the waves all around us. And we're trying to paddle and paddle and paddle and swim back to the shore. When really all we need to do is just change direction, and the swimming will be a lot easier. And our boats will be filled with fish. And here's where it gets even better. Peter himself jumped out of the boat and ran and swam back to the shoreline, leaving his garments in the boat. Because he knew, well, if I have the garments, the waves are probably going to grab that and take me down with it. So if I leave this here, I jump, I get to be the first to hang out with this man who continually saves my life. You see, Peter knew it was Jesus who got him out of the situation and filled that boat up. He can do the same thing for you and I. He's been doing it all along. We just got to listen. He's right there. It's a very audible voice all around us all day long. Man, it wakes me up in the middle of the night. Just imagine what he can do for you. I pray and I hope that this message hits each and every one of you. And I pray you all have a wonderful, wonderful day today. And please do not get caught up in the riptides of life anymore. Swim along the shore and watch what God can do for you. God bless.